Our last game of the quarterfinals, actually. Or no, wait, this is the pre-quarterfinals, so I've run a 16, question mark, kind of. But whoever wins this one will be moving on to our selection show, which will be happening right after this match, so do not go anywhere. A huge night of Aurora ahead of you. Pretty tough there. Urpel hits the opening knife here, but hacked out of his axe, so can't use that ability. The Casino Rush on the top of the window from Sonic Ronic. Fedora goes aggressive on it, will land a 4-man and tip with a beat from Neslo, keeps his team nice and healthy. A return 1-man from Urpel. No anybody falling just yet, but Base God is the first one to fall. Sonic is Isaiah, but so is Urpel going down. Raz in the kill feed, lighting it up. Corey comes back with the hack as well. And that's going to be our first point. Go over to Washington, a 100-0 dominant showing here. They do detect him for a bit. Here comes a TP in the back line here from Poi. Finds 2! And Fedora Master used the Rampage, but is cleansed immediately by Base God.
Yeah, Fedora's going to want that Rampage back.
A great exchange, like you said, going to want that back. And now the point on point. The EMP comes in. It's a 3-man. And here comes the follow-up Rampage, but only gets 1. Urpel still has theirs and uses it and returns a 2-man on the support line here. The cleanse on a Raz will land, but Sonic is still hurting. Oh, almost an Ajax, but just gets off in time, but Fedora has fallen. Saw the Joker Queen in this competition. The Washington Overwatch team looking pretty rough for wear. Raz falls to 1 HP, TP's out, but can't get the help. The swing on the axe will land on Sonic Rex. Urpel is cleaning up the kills here. Poi playing it down as well. Sonic is so weak on the high ground, gets chased down by Neslo in the boop kill. That's
Overwatch team here, though. So
they use the Molcore, and Tedium goes down early. Poi still has this Death Blossom. They exchange for 1 more, but the Suzu is invested, and Poi follows it up with the kill. Both supports are down for Washington. It's just Fedora on the point. Very sad. The Queen is nothing without her court. MP going down for Chilla Guy there. Fedora Master goes very deep into the backline, so 1-for-1 trade, but here comes the kills on both our sides. Urpel does use that Rampage, but only gets Sonic Ronic in his crosshairs. It's a 2-on-3 on point, I believe. Urpel finds so weak, but Poi comes in with the Death Blossom and finds 2! And now Poi against Sonic in the sky with the Valkyrie. Sonic was forced to return down to ground level. The Paris Paper Plains ground. Oh, Teddy returns in time to get the kill, but Neslo is there as well. It's a 3-on-1 on the point, and somehow they clutches out Poi with a huge Death Blossom. Very close right now. Fedora can't get the Rampage off in time. Corey is still in the sky, though. Puts some work in right now. But the hack from Chilla Guy is massive. Corey is the target. Sonic is hacked out the res as well. 90% and counting. And Paper Plains look to take on our first map, the Washington Overwatch team selection. And now going into our next map, it is going to be Kings Row. And the last time the Paris Paper Plains faced Washington Overwatch team, they won Kings Row. So they use the nano over here onto Urpel and just walks right past that window. Fedora Master falls so weak and goes down to annihilation. The attack field breaks just in time. And I mean, you know, we were talking about the ultimate thing up for the side of Washington, but I mean, Chilla Guy is keeping them back right now. A nice wall out from Poi, and here comes the barrage. Finds 2, a third if you count Immortality Field as a person. But there you have it. Chilla Guy with a third this fight. Is flying very weak. The hiding from Tedium could do something here. Does find Naga, but they do manage to nano Urpel before they fall. Immortality Field comes out. It's a 2-man anti right now. Out from Fedora Master. The beat keeps him through this blizzard. No kills on either side for any of the ultimates, but the window from Corey comes down, and Tedium capitalizes with 2 kills right through that window, right through the flat screen TV. As well, there's just so much healing being pumped through right now through this window, so much damage, but the wall comes up from Poi, but Urpel gets nothing. Chilla Guy finally responds with that 2K barrage, but Tedium with 1 on Chilla Guy. It's just Yeetmeister flying around, very sad, very scared. Poi on point, trying to get a kill, will find 1. Now, it's Poi against 2. We do have the window coming up from Naga on the ground floor. We have another blizzard from Poi, though. And Nutter has no response beat here. So this could be the fight open. There's 12 seconds remaining. They gotta get us off. Just gets booped, but they do not kill him in time. Fedora Master is gonna get isolated, and they're gonna get that kill. It's a 2-kill week. They're going to use it's gonna be a big Rampage. Lands on the 4. Raz with a follow-up blizzard. And that's 3 kills. 4. And it's just Chilla Guy.
We'll see if they can successfully bait Chilla Guy into using form.
Oh, Tedium with a nice headshot. And there you go. No else needed, no turret form baited. Just a nice dinker down main. As Tedium opens up the fight and basically opens up point A for the side of Washington Overwatch team.
It was on.
And they're gonna use the blizzard. Fedora Master gets frozen up, but the Immortality Field in there just in time. The window comes out, and it's a 5-man in response from Urpel. as well as the Bastion artillery strike on top of it. Nutter's gonna bleed to death on the streets of London. The knife crime, have you seen the statistics? Anyway, Corey is now up on the high ground by his lonesome Cello guy, lights up the kill feed. Looks like he's just kind of playing slowly around the corner, trying to get something done now. Perform is forced right now, pretty early out. Cello guy, they're gonna exchange with a Kitsune Rush, but Raz will find both DPS on the flank on the high ground. Kitsune Rush can't bring your health back quicker. And now Urpel really deep in enemy lines, not gonna long for this world.
Rampage might be able to stabilize here. Oh no.
Yeah, they still have this Rampage if they even need it, but it's
Purple
looking
goes
pretty
down,
rough
yeah.
here. Yeetmeister trying to dance around for long pop, but just bleeding slowly out. The Rampage doesn't get anything, but does create the space for the point to capture. And we have got Washington Overwatch team taking map 2 of Kings Row, 1-1, going into our map 3, which has been decided to be Dorado. So we do have some swaps as well. Basically, it's going to be the map 1 compositions going at it again. Here comes the EMP, lands on the 4 members. They're going to find Raz first. Corey tries to keep Sonic Chronic alive in this fight. The sleep does land on Urpel, but Urpel gets cleansed immediately. Goes back in. Here comes Tedium with the tactical visor. We'll find Base God. The bubble is there for Dormaster losing it onto that mech, but gets the kill in baby form onto the Sombra.
He's putting a lot of healing here from Sonic Chronic.
They do lose out on Corey and Sonic. Both supports are down for Washington. Poi is taken out by Teddy's Rockets. But right now, Fedora is still holding this point down. Knows where Sombra is chasing Cello Guy around. I mean, is anybody going to look at Cart? They do get Ramataz. It's just Cello Guy gets Fedora measure. The stagger could be massive if they leave him for just long enough. The bubble comes out and going to go down. Fedora is hacked and falls very low. Here comes a dupe. Poi up on the high ground now. A Poi Diva is a very scary thing indeed, but the reduced health, he cannot get anything off. The EMP comes up from Cello Guy, only lands on a Ramataz, and the Tedium uses the visor as well as the bomb to keep them back from falling by this EMP pressure. And that's going to be another fight victory here as a DPS clean up the kill feed for Washington. 2 for each side. Probably on Fedora Master Urpel, uses that Primal Rage. The follow-up is there from Poi. The High Noon out from Ramataz, finds 2 with the Nano. The Casino Rush is thrown in as well. Cello Guy will fight Sonic, and Corey's getting battered and bruised in the corner. Raz trying to clutch up with a third in this fight, but Urpel goes in. Gets more kills somehow. They've made this work. Fedora Master is going to get down Cello Guy, gets down 2 kills, and no one's touching the cart, so no progress is being made. Cello Guy has EMP when they decide to drop. Will they decide to use it here? Urpel is purpled. So that's 10 times fast, but does lose out.
What's up, everybody? It's War here, bringing you this Aurora Esports quarterfinals action. We got a banger matchup today between the Loch Ness Nessies and the Washington Overwatch team. But before we jump straight into it, we got to do a little bit of analysis, and I also got to give some shout outs. One to Booney, our prod behind the scene, making everything look excellent here. And secondly, my co-caster, my color caster, and a good friend of mine, RiddleDog. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to watch this match because at the start of the season, I made predictions, or not necessarily predictions, but teams I wanted to cheer for. And these were 2 teams that were on the top of my board. I love the dynamic that they have, and I feel like both these teams have the potential to win this match.
Yeah, they definitely do. I know the Washington Overwatch team leaning more towards that Junker Queen comp as well, with Fedora playing on that tank role. And Corey even on his support role as well, so the Nessies looking to play that more dive look with Vikavs on the Genji, but it will be helpful that JQ has gotten these recent nerfs, as well as JQ is one of the biggest counters to Winston right now in the meta.
And the interesting thing is, the Washington Overwatch team and Loch Ness Nessies have already played each other, obviously, but they've also already played each other on this map. It was a victory for the Loch Ness Nessies, which makes sense why they're choosing this map again. And what do you think their strategy is going to be going into Busan?
I think it's just controlling a lot of the space. Laura looking over to play that hit scan like the Sojourn as well, which he's shown prowess on early in the season as well, and Vikavs on his signature Genji, so they'll have to see if they're able to control the space and get the picks like they need from the DPS and the tank.
And interesting choices from both teams. I mean, I don't see a single character that is the same on either side. You got a Junker Queen leading the charge on one side, and then you got Fedora Master on the Diva. They're gonna be starting off far on the right side, looking to dive up onto Vikovs, take out this high ground.
Knife comes in.
Yeah. Anti-nade comes in, instantly gets shut down though, and both teams doing a great job of stabilizing. It looks like Washington Overwatch team has taken control of the room though, so they're going to be able to play behind a bit more cover. Vind is fully in, but supported by Charbitron. It's actually going to be Lore who gets the first pick. Vikovs is just inside of the Washington Overwatch team, doing their best to take the space. Nobody's even looking to point right now, but finally one person jumps down for Loch and Nessies. They realize they have the player's advantage, and they're just going to force Washington Overwatch team back for a bit, but this is going to be a quick reset into another fight.
Yeah, Nadir's just so far up, so aggressive on that break that Vind was just able to donk walk over to him and just run over him with repeated axe swings as Fedor comes in for another touch.
Yeah, it's great denial, keeping Fenoa off the high ground. It's actually going to be Lore who shuts down the Diva mech, so no tank on the side of Washington Overwatch team, and the momentum's already being given here. There is somebody on the point trying to contest, but Lore and Arbitron shut that down real quick.
Teddy does get out here. Oh, I spoke to the caster's curse, man. You will see Fedora moving over to the Winston as well as Razmataz over onto the Mei. They just recognize that Vind is so far in, not with the rest of his team, so they should be able to wall him off and pressure him out with that bubble.
Yeah, and it's just one big wall, and Raz probably one of the best mains here, so definitely needs to get it, but it's gonna be Vind going in first. Rampage is gonna be absolutely massive, and Vikovs is just gonna clean up. That's that Genji player that you want to have at any point in time. Teddy M finally shuts it down, but it doesn't matter because Vind and Lore are just cooking inside the room. They aren't letting a single player escape, get out. They're even gonna shut down Teddy M, and Vind is on fire right now.
It's a huge fight win for the side of the Loch Ness Nessies. It's coming up on their final fight here with only one ult used this whole time with Vin's Rampage. And because of the swaps, the Washington Overwatch team only has Brig ult.
And they're going to make a desperate play. They're going to try to mirror the Junker Queen here. Fedora, professional Junker Queen master, but into 3 ults. I mean, what can you do? Vikovs already shuts down one. Still holding on to that blade as well. Here it comes out. Going for Teddy M, trying to force off the point, but there's nobody left to force off the point. I mean, it's just shut down.
Yeah, unfortunate disconnect from Nadir there, as we will be entering a pause and waiting for him to come back. But it's just such good ult usage by the side of Loch Ness Nessies, knowing what they have to use just to win the fight and nothing more as well. And the Washington Overwatch team didn't know how they wanted to respond right away, starting on the Diva, then the Monkey Mei, then onto the Junker Queen comp after.
I'd like to give a big shout out to HV Sect, subscribing to Prime. Thank you very, very much. And as we're hopping into the second part of Busan here, what swaps do you think Washington Overwatch team has to make?
I mean, they really just have to commit to something. The only tools they really got off that I can remember was the rally late that fight, as well as the Ana Nano from Corey and Teddy M's Pulse Bomb. So I think they really just need to stick to something, and they should be able to mirror this Junker Queen comp with how often they've been running it in these recent weeks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think, what do you think about the Raz May? Do you think that's a good choice to really counter out Vind or anybody who tries to dive in?
Yeah, I really do like that it especially hinders Vikovs here on the Genji and just slows him down, gets him into that deep freeze. But like I was saying earlier, Vin's just playing so aggressive that Raz should be able to get good value on the Mei, and I know she's pulled it off many matches before, so I'd be surprised to see it again.
Yeah, definitely a very scary May. Definitely a very scary team in general. We'll see what adaptations are going to come to fruition here. You already see Corey swapping off onto the Baptiste and Nadir on the characteristic Lucio as well.
Yeah, just the standard rush comp, Mei Hanzo. just able to punish with that Hanzo Storm Arrow and just Hanzo bow shots, as well as the consistent damage from Corey, one of the Bat mains, super good Baps in the league as well. So, never mind. There's Kiriko.
Yeah, but the Kiriko is really good against the Junker Queen ult, and that's definitely one of the first ults that Loch Ness is able to build up. So definitely looking to deny that, but Raz with an amazing denial. We've highlighted the Mei before, and it's absolutely incredible right now. That one shot onto Lore is basically going to shut down all the momentum. As now Vikovs is kind of sitting in limbo, has to make his way out, manages to get the deflect dash out into the space, but they have the Mei wall, and they completely shut off Vin too. They have all momentum in their side.
Yeah, just Raz doing so well on that Mei, just this first fight, even getting that nice headshot on Lure, as well as recognizing that Vin was pushing way too far up. Not able to get the help of his team, so able to punish that. With Vin moving over to the Ramatra here for more survivability.
Yeah, and Ramatra is definitely so good in this meta, but I mean, Raz keeps hitting walls. Finally, Vin just has enough, shuts down Raz, says, okay, if there's anybody I want to take out here, it's this player. But Nutty and Teddy M still doing some big stuff, trades both ways, and it's Fedora just trying to sustain on the point against 3 other players. They're just diving in one by one, trying to see if they can shut him down, and eventually Fedora is going to fall. Only 33% for Washington Overwatch team, but definitely a better start than last map.
Yeah, definitely. Just Vikovs and Lore able to clutch out those kills. The Genji extraordinaire in the league right now, as well as Corey's almost got his Kitsune Rush coming online. Already used Suzu, but he's dead.
Yeah, and Laura is also coming up on Soldier on ult as well. So second that gets popped, I mean, it could be a ton of pressure coming into it. Now, Washington Overwatch is just going to opt to back up. They realize that ults could be online. They don't really have Corey who can full bomb rush in with the Kiriko ult, so might as well just wait for a second, have the full team to regroup, see exactly what the best angle is to push.
Yeah, it's so many ults from both sides here, as well as Nadir and Trouble are matching the beat charges right now as the Kitsune Rush comes out.
That's going to be the Ramatra ult. Many ults, tank ults and support ults exchange on both sides, but you know how powerful the Ramatra ult is, and you know how much it can dominate your opponents. They're just going to collapse in and easily disrupt the Washington Overwatch team there.
Yeah, nice ults from especially the Nessies. Vin just holding block if he really needs to survive, and Hayden with that coalescence just to keep him up through everything. Corey and Fedora couldn't do anything with their ults.
And they're holding this so well. Fedora is actually making the decision to swap over to the Ramatra. When it doesn't work, might as well mirror the completely broken character.
Ooh.
Raz finds an early pick too, so this could be big. The Blizzard's thrown in. Is it going to catch anybody? No, it's not, but it allows Fedora to find a crazy angle, take some good space. Lore with the ult, seeing if they can find anything from the high ground, has split up the team, but they don't really have control of the point. It's just the Hayden and Lore still trying to survive, contest as long as they can. They're going to flip it at 93, but, I mean, have Loch's Nessies already done enough?
Yeah, I mean, they're coming in with this beat blade as well, which could be powerful just to save Vic. I say as he gets punched right in the face.
And that's a huge pick. Fedora, the fact that they find both DPSs means that Loch's Nessies can't go in for another 10-15 seconds. There's a lot of time that they just bought just by finding Vic.
Yeah, it's really big that they didn't even have to use any ults here, as Fedora swapped that last fight, and he already has his ult now.
And that's huge that he's beating Vin to the ult. There's still multiple ults online. Charbitron's gonna beat to try and cancel, shut it down, but Fedora's just running into the back line. And at the same time, there's just so much pressure from other angles. The lamp's used by Corey to just deny the entire point. And that's 2 ults and just a clean fight win.
Yeah, and with how the Nessies were kiting as well, it just drew out the fight. Now they're gonna have to try to get a quick recontest with this Blade Ramatra. And with this Cole, it is definitely winnable. This beat needs to be big from Nuttier.
It's all gonna lie on the Nuttier beat. Raz trying to look for a wall here. The Dragon's gonna come through. That's a great zoning ult to see if they can cut off anybody. Vin's gonna finally unleash the ult, but Hayden goes down early. Big Hops with the blade, trying to find anybody, but completely shut down by Raz too. Every ult that the Loch Ness are popping just completely gets denied, and the Washington Overwatch team is going to be able to clean this one up.
That pick on Hayden was huge. He was 99% to Colin with that. He may have been able to even keep like Vin and Vikovs up during both their ults, which could have just turned the tide in this whole point. One on the map even, possibly.
It feels like this is a much more refined Washington Overwatch team than they were when they came into the map, already making very, very smart adaptations. And now, I mean, the pressure's sort of on the Loch Ness Nessies. They have found out that Washington Overwatch team knows how to counter, and now they maybe need to make some adaptations of their own.
Yeah, going back to the standard Junker Queen comp with that Kiriko as well. It's really just to survive a lot of the time. Both JQ and Hamacha are super survivable, but it's gonna be a lot harder with Nadir moving over to the Zen and the Discord Orb.
It seems like more of a brawl-based comp versus more range-based comp with multiple non-hit scan characters on the side of the Washington Overwatch team. They're going to rely on getting a pick, and they're actually going to find one. Hayden down early again, and Fedora used this as an opportunity. They're just going to go in, collapse on Lore, collapse on the entire team, and I think they found a really nice solution here.
Yeah, I mean, the strat is you just poke them out with Discord with that consistent damage from the Baptiste, Ramatra, Zen, as well as the burst potential from the man Hanzo, and Teddy's hitting the shots, so.
Yeah, Teddy's one of those players who, like, there's some moments when he's just on a different level. He's playing like he is, like, near GM just because of the shots he's hitting at the right time on the top tier players. All of teams like Loch Ness Nessies, one of the best teams in the entire league. It's 4 seed versus 6 seed, so definitely a very, very close fight here.
Oh, Fedora rotates.
Yeah. Interesting choice. Fedora's taking the 1v1 against Vikovs on the point, and now they're all going to jump down onto Fedora, see if they can get an isolation, potentially shut them down, but that could even go into the favor of Washington Overwatch team because they're so spread out, and they have characters that have that pick potential, but unfortunately Fedora's gone down, the control of the point has been lost, and Vind is allowed to go in.
I mean, with Fedora moving over to the point, Vikov's able to put the point pressure on the Junker Queen comp of the Nessies. They could just rush in and kill the stragglers, really being nuttier with no out as well, which is a lot rougher from the side of Washington without their Zen.
And now we got Vind with the Junker Queen Rampage online possibility, especially if their team is grouped up. It can do some serious damage, and no Kiriko clench to even counter it. Vind definitely looking for it here. It's gonna hit it. It's extremely big. Baplamp's gonna be the only thing keeping the team up, but they're gonna be forced out. Nice boot from Tribertron, and Vind's gonna capitalize there. Now, the entire team just playing angles. Fedora finally gets the ult off. Gonna pop it late, but already 2 players down. Is it gonna be in time? Is it gonna be enough? He can't really chase anybody down, so that's gonna end the ult. But they do have a bit of control on the point. The presence is gonna be big.
Lure so low, as well as Hayden right now. Trying to win the 1v1, but Fedora's able to get that Annihilation just in time to really use it, as he's just falling so low. The Kitsune rush, they invest it. Well, wait, they find Teddy. Wait,
I mean,
Winter
it's even trades, and now that multiple players are back, Raz is just gonna throw the Blizzard in, but it's not gonna be able to catch anybody. Tribertron at the beat. It's such an awkward fight. 3v3 on the point. Laura finally back. Gonna try to poke out Fedora, but at this point in time, they're just gonna look back. It's gonna be towards Vind, and Corey finds that pick.
Importantly, that fight, the Washington Overwatch team were able to get that point, like, flipped quite soon after they were sort of just sitting on it. So once the Nessies tried to recontest, they didn't have the point anymore, so it's just free percentage.
And Nessies are going to need a big recontest here. Look at where Washington Overwatch team is playing. They're all staying up towards that high ground, letting Fedora and Raz be the only point presence they know. Everybody's going to benefit from that window as well. And Vind dropping extremely low, shut down by Fedora. This could be a change in the script. Busan could go the favor of Washington Overwatch team. It's going to be a hero blade from Vikov to see if he can find anything. Teddy shuts that down too, not even a contest.
Wow. It just seems like once Washington knew what they wanted to do, and they had a plan on those last 2 points, they're able to execute it really well, and able to win the series. It's just that indecision from downtown that made them struggle as much as they did.
I mean, when you're 10 EM, you're heating up and you're given just a backfield and allowed to cook. I mean, of course you're hitting your shots, and of course you're finding picks like that. And I mean, this really shows the Washington Overwatch team these last few weeks. They've really been finding their stride. They've been incorporating Junker Queen, other heroes into their meta, and they can adapt and they can win maps, especially against top teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's even working against these higher teams as well. As last week they were able to take down the Paris Paper Planes as they take the first map off the number 4 seed right now, which is really impressive.
And it looks like we are going to be heading to a quick map break, but we'll be right back for this extremely dynamic series between the Loch Ness Nessies and the Washington Overwatch team. Welcome back, gamers. We are here again with the Washington Overwatch team versus the Loch Ness Nessies. If you missed the first map, the Washington Overwatch team made an incredible comeback, some amazing comp switches, and some amazing overall strategy and gameplay from their players, which led them to take the lead 1-0 against the Loch Ness Nessies. Riddle, how do you think this Hollywood pick is going to benefit the Nessies, though?
I think it's just a lot more of that poke style, sort of. Hoping that Vin doesn't play as aggressive as they did as well, because the Washington Overwatch team did play that poke style as well with that Ramatra on Busan Sanctuary, and it worked really well with Nadir on that Zenyatta, but you will see Nadir is subbed out for Puppetry Stay here.
Yeah, very, very important. Give all teammates love. Nadir did do some good work on the previous map. Looking to see him in future maps as well, but Puppetry Stay, more of that Mercy player who is looking to provide value for their team. I have a question for you also. Will Vikovs ever swap off the Genji in any situation?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. I think he switched wands as a ringer for another team onto like Widow for like one fight. I may be wrong on that. So
but that's like not part of
it.
the that's not part of the canon, right?
No,
like,
no.
Okay. Just making sure. I got it right.
Yep. Headcanon moment.
Indeed.
Yeah, but you will see the Nessies moving over to that dive style, trying, as I stand corrected with the poke, they're trying to just dive in with Vic and be as aggressive as they can with Resmatez on the Pharmacy, accompanied by Puppetry Stay.
Especially if you can get good timing against the Mercy or the Pharah. You can do some very serious damage to the team, but it is going to be enough to really poke off high ground. Obviously, Vic can jump back up at any time, but that pressure from the Pharah can just do so much.
Oh, Hayden must looks like he ate an arrow.
Yeah, wrong arrow, wrong time, and it's gonna put Loch Ness at a big disadvantage. Charbitron does manage to get the res, but doesn't get the fly up in time to group back up with Laura, so Laura's gonna drop back down for just a second. Raz still around this point, still doing an amazing job, but just to say that, Caster Curse shut down by Vikovs, and Vikovs is up on the high ground, taking the 3v1. Meanwhile, Fedora is on the other high ground, their own 3v1 on their hands. Raz is gonna get picked back up right again. The Pharah Mercy's still going to be in the air, but with Teddy M, still a lot of pressure. Vikovs gets a good trade. And this Diva can just dive onto Raz over and over again, put down so much pressure.
And it's a good thing that Vin started this Diva as well, just to be able to shut down Raz and the Pharah. Maybe knowing that she's just comfortable in that Pharah, but Fedora taking up so much space just inside Cafe, the rest of the team, while Vic is able to distract everyone on the other high ground.
Fedora is quite possibly the best distraction you could ask for on tank or on DPS. You know, he's a great Torbjorn main as well, but been opting towards the tank in this composition. Sleep doesn't hit, and Fedora's just in on the entire team. Vin's diving the opposite side. Interesting bomb placement. The entire team's going to be able to kite it, and Fedora's just still up on the other side of things.
The Blade finds Tree Stay. Teddy too.
And when Fedora is just on the back line, I mean, he's providing so much pressure, but Vind is just doing the exact same thing to the back line of Washington Overwatch team. It's just a battle of who can kill who quicker, and that time it was Vind and Vikovs, the dynamic duo who put in so much damage.
Yeah, that interesting bomb was Vin trying to be a little cheeky with it, push it off the high ground, try to catch Corey and the gang off guard, but he was not able to be successful with it. But a lot of ults are coming online right now.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely going to be a battle of ultimates on all sides. Ultimates are going off, and Laura actually shuts down the ulting Pharah in Raz, and actually finds the pick on Puppetry too as they dive in. So Laura's popping off. Meanwhile, Fedora has have no value from the annihilation so far, and even gets shut down by Laura too. The fact that Laura's up on this high ground, it feels like it's just so hard for the Washington Overwatch team to find a pick when he's still up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much pressure from the Mercy as well as Hayden. Well, that's what you need. You just need to look for these early picks like that. That's perfect, but they're able to get the res off.
And that's the advantage of having that Mercy just pocketing up on the high ground. Even if they get damage, even if they get a kill onto Lore, it all doesn't matter. Teddy M is just gonna send the dragon right at where Lore is standing. Make it so there's no way that Lore can be up there, but Lore jumps to another high ground, shuts down Raz as well. And now Washington Overwatch team is just falling apart here.
Vin was so low. He was so aggressive just on Raz there. But he's able to get 2 use of the bomb.
And that bomb's actually going to hit as well. The remag too onto Fedora. I mean, you just need to put in that extra disrespect as well. Now it's just Teddy M. The touch with the Tracer is the only chance the Washington Overwatch team has. They only have 1 tick. Teddy M's just going to keep that contest going. A quick little restart, but Vindus right on top. That was an insane prediction. Basically forces out Teddy M. And now they're going into this fight down 1 as well. They have Blade to deal with from Vikovs, and you gotta think it's just gonna be over. It's just gonna be time.
Jumbotron falls low. Oh, there goes Raz. Puppetry, say Corey.
Fedora, last one left standing. Trying to spin around, get whatever contest they can get, but when they haven't even dropped up to the high ground, finally just getting up to try and contest it, but it doesn't even matter here. They're gonna have the point, and it's only gonna be a third of a point for Washington Overwatch team.
It just seems like Vind is doing so much. He's just on that high ground, the opposing high ground, and on the backline with Vikovs whenever they need it, and they just can't pin him down. They can't kill him. And whenever they do, he just has the bomb to reset and go again.
And it's definitely really hard because you can see Fedora trying to simulate the same thing that Vikovs is doing, but the fact that they had the high ground against Fedora and Vin had the high ground against the backline of Washington Overwatch, it's just a double disadvantage that they're being put into. But maybe, just maybe, the Washington Overwatch team can find some sort of disadvantage that they can force onto Loch Ness here.
Yeah, and importantly to note is that the Washington Overwatch team was able to get a little bit more than a tick on the point, so it is winnable as long as they full hold here, don't let them have a single tick, they're able to win the map, so it is not drawable.
Not drawable, but so that does put down the pressure.
The Widow.
Yeah. What do you think about the Widow choice here? I mean, double hit scan into the Pharah.
I like the double hit scan, but it's just a feast or famine character of the Widow, especially against Vikovs, which could be known to be on Genji, as well as Vind on Diva. It's really risky. Teddy may be able to pull this off. I know he's done it in the past.
And they definitely chose this comp intentionally. We'll see exactly why, but I mean, the sleep is insane, and they're just gonna dive in off that. They realize that now that the Widow's shut down, they can just grab the high ground for free, and they've already taken 1 of the high grounds, going for the second, going for Teddy M, and Vin just finds that shutdown.
The lamp is good.
I mean, the lamp just tells you how much they have to invest into this to make sure that Loch Nessies don't grab any momentum. Fedora's doing wonders on one side of the map, but Lore finally finds that pick. Charvatron's gonna find the res on the Vikovs. It's an awkward situation on both sides, but Raz is, oh my gosh! Did that hit both?
Yeah, the splash damage. I know Teddy was able to hit body shots on both Charvatron and Vikov, so they're both low, but it was a good Helix rocket just to finish off both of them. You see Vind was just way too aggressive on that first attack, as Hayden was still in that computer room, really. Not any line of sight.
Off onto Lucio here. Go for potentially more of like a dive option here. Lore actually swapping to the Widow and getting shut down early. That's very unfortunate loss there, because it feels like the Loch Nessies, they're already part of the way committed to this. They don't have high ground, but they're just chilling on the back of point, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. But Fedora's going to be the first one to strike here. Seeing if they can get any value here. Loch Ness is just doing a great job of just playing around this, waiting for the right time to go in, and finally, Lore's back, this time on the sword journey.
There we go. Vin decides to go in onto Corey, but Teddy hits the nice shot onto Hayden. Getting taken down by Vikovs, but Papa Tree said, use the Valk.
The Valk gets denied though. Lore finds the shot, and now it's disadvantage for Washington Overwatch team. All they have online, the Ramatra ult. They need to find value with it, but Vin's just gonna shut that down. Is there even anybody to contest on the side of?
I mean, Teddy, maybe? Teddy does get
gets
a touch.
on,
Oh,
but
well.
no, it's not gonna be enough. Loch's Nessies are gonna be able to win the second map of Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Vikhovs and Vin just able to duo dive if they really want to onto the backline or whoever they choose. It's with the two highest SR people on the team on those two roles. It's just so good together.
On the control maps, I mean, definitely it was a different beat, but when the map is contest the single point, and if you lose it, it's game over. That dive composition, at some point in time, you're just going to keep throwing yourself against the wall, and one of the times it's going to stick, and that we knew it was going to happen, and eventually it did stick there for the Loch Nessies.
Yeah, just with that dive look as well as the nice control on the high grounds, able to stabilize, they were able to pull that off.
Yeah, and we have a brawl of a series. One Loch Nessies, one Washington Overwatch team. You know how it works. We're going to throw it to a quick break, but make sure you stay tuned because this is not going to end anytime soon.
I will never forgive you!
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Welcome back, everybody. If you missed the first two maps, are coming in at the right time. It is currently 1-1. Loch Ness Nessies 1, Washington Overwatch team 1, and the pick for the Overwatch team is going to be Circuit Royale map. They've been statistically dominant on this map, especially with the Corey Sigma choice. So we'll have to see exactly how this goes. Riddle, what do you think Loch Ness Nessies are going to pull out of their sleeve here?
Genji, for sure.
Okay, that's
I
like,
could see-
that's like free. That's like free. You can't say that. That's like illegal.
It's the free space. It's the free space on bingo.
Okay,
But
fair.
I could see Vin going to Sigma. He's played it a lot before. I wouldn't be surprised to see Laura on Widow or Sojourn playing both those before. Hayden on Bat. And I'm not sure what Jumbotron would go, but it should definitely be favored for Washington because they seem to look more dominant on that poke comp from Busan, if you remember, on Sanctuary. But like you said, this map is like their bread and butter. The only times they've lost this map was to the Red Pandas and the Mice. So it might be a little rough from the side of the Nessies.
And every other time, like, they're playing this map, they're winning dominantly as well. I mean, they're just so good at this long-range damage strategy. They know exactly where to play. And the only difference between this and the control aspects of the map is this time you got the Corey Sigma on tank and Fedora, the backline support with the potential to do damage as well, Zenyatta.
Yeah, the two high RSR support players of each duo going onto that Zenyatta, trying to hit the discords and the skill shots needed for that character. Fedora almost chunks down Jumbotron early.
Yeah, and look at how much space they've already taken here. I mean, the team of Loch Ness Nessies are just opting to hold down that high ground. But when Corey is just able to place down shields at the exact right time, I mean, at some point in time, Vikhovs has to go in, has to be able to deal that cohesive damage and shut down a certain player on the team of Washington Overwatch. If not, they're just going to keep pushing.
Corey's doing so much damage, already 60% to his ult after this first fight.
And they're looking so good. The fact is they're just able to keep 3 players on cart. They're able to use the LOS naturally given by cart. And because there's no angles for Vikhovs to play in, there's no small little sight lines to take. I mean, it's so hard. But finally, around this last corner, Loch Ness Nessies seem to be picking up a bit of momentum. Fedora does find Vikhovs, which is the exact player you want to pick out, but it doesn't matter when Corey already has the ult, already that far ahead of the game, and already putting down so much pressure. I guess not, because Vind is able to shut down this on the front line, and now just walking up onto Fedora Master. Vind definitely putting on a show here.
Yeah, they Washington Overwatch team losing Teddy M and Nadir so early that fight, and the call came out that is winnable. Corey used that gravitic flux, but it was not the right one, as Vin was just able to survive with the help of both Jumbotron and Hayden and clean up the rest of the team, as they've got a lot of ults coming online here with only Trance on the board for Washington.
Trance can definitely be a fight winner, especially on the side of Fedora. They can keep the team up for 5-6 seconds, but if it's not popped first, I mean, if it's popped and the player's already dead, there's nobody you can heal up, nobody you can save, and it's just going to be a fight without any ults on the side of Washington Overwatch. Only one expended from Loch Ness Nessies, but they're going to be very happy with that fight win.
Yeah, a really good window from Jumbotron, as well as the side of the Nessies, and Laura able to utilize it and just pick off the side of the Washington Overwatch team before they could even use Trance. I assume Fedora is waiting for the blade or the flux, but we'll have to see.
We will have to see. Sights do come out early from the side of Lore. Looking to find a big pick with that, playing behind this natural cover of the tree of Circuit Royale. And they're playing the angle, waiting for the right time to go in. And of course, Lore's going to find it. When you have sights on your side, when you have the aim that Lore does, there's no doubt that you find picks left and right. Another one from Lore too. And just one left. Fedora trying to straggle away, get out, does manage to get back to the team, but we're entering one fight territory, and I'm only seeing 2 ults online for Washington Overwatch.
It's rough. They need to try to get these ults online fast, because I know the Nessies are going to be able to. It's this point is just so hard with Laura on that high ground or wherever he decides to go. They just can't get to anyone really with this high ground.
And look, Laura's taking such an aggressive angle here. Then Fedora doesn't even expect it. They find the pick. Gravitic Flux is used. It's going to force out both a window and a lamp on the side of Nuttier. It's just a desperation play. Raz is taking the high ground, swapping out to the Mei, and managing to almost build up that ultimate. If Raz can stay alive for just long enough, it could be a chance. But no, it's not going to do anything. Flux only catches one, and it's just going to be completely shut down by Hayden as well.
Yeah, we may have doubted the side of the Nessies here, but Laura has been dominant on this Widowmaker here with just so much pressure as Nuttier DCs again.
Hey, at least it's happening at the end of the map, though, right?
You know, you're right. It was the end of
right time.
Busan.
Like,
it was the end of Circuit for the point. Exactly right. There couldn't be a better time to DC. Really, I wish I had that power.
Last time Nuttier DC'd, they won. It looked like it was over for them, but they won. That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there. I'm a caster. I use only facts, and that is a fact.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that a lot of the time when Washington were on defense here on this map, they were able to hold on to first point there, just like the Nessies did. So it is completely possible that they're able to still win the map against the Nessies. It's just gonna be a lot harder because they don't have as much to work with in case they lose that first point.
And first point is definitely extremely daunting on Circuit Royale. You have like 3, 4 potentially high grounds that you have to disrupt the defense on. Sure, you can maybe push it past if you get like a really good momentum fight, but if defenders still have like prowess in that space, they are able to get a good defense. So we've definitely seen great defenses like that from Washington Overwatch.
Yeah, it's just gonna be up to them to really perform now, as I know Laura's been on fire right now on this Widowmaker, so love to see if they can deal.
Do you mirror the Widow here, or do you switch to something that you think is potentially more sustainable?
I could see the Hanzo being picked because Teddy was able to hit those shots on the Hanzo earlier on Busan, but I know he's normally confident in his Widow, so we'll have to see. It's either gonna be one of those two, though.
We will have to see. I mean, definitely a tall task ahead of the Washington Overwatch team, but not undoable, not insurmountable, and definitely a possibility for Washington Overwatch here, as you do get to see comps very shortly, and we see what strategies they came up with.
Yeah, there's the Hanzo pick as well as Razmataz on the Mei. Didn't mention that much earlier, but Raz did swap over to the Mei, seeing how Vind was playing that low ground without the rest of his team, so they thought she thought she'd be able to wall off and separate Vind, take advantage of that, but with the Widow sidelines and all the pressure, it's so hard to do that.
Hey, but I mean, this is sort of what we expected, but on the side of Loch and Nessies is... Oh, they're making swaps?
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of
Okay, they're doing a little bit of funny. Okay, just a little bit of funny. I thought we were going to see a Lifeweaver, but no, never Lifeweaver. If only.
Stay tuned for Rotterdam.
Wait, what? These spoilers?
No. Yeah, it will be the same comp coming out for the side of the Nessies as well as close to Mir as well on this side.
Boar's little aggression there, trying to jump over, see if they can get any poke damage.
Vic made it over the roof.
Going over the roof, seeing if they can jump in on the back line, and they don't even see it coming. It's gonna force out the lamp and give Vind so much space to operate with and shut down Corey.
Oh, it's just so well timed from Vind and Vic again. With Vic going in, forcing the lamp from Nuttier, and Corey was trying to back out, but he went under the bridge, out of the sightline from Nuttier and Fedora.
Vind and Vic are just this dynamic duo. They know the exact time one of them is diving in, no matter what character, and the other one can just follow up, secure one, and sometimes one is all you need. It looks like one fight's going to be all Loch Ness Nessies need here, as the entire Washington Overwatch team has made it back, but we are in one fight territory, and the ults are definitely in the favor of the Nessies.
Yeah, not much coming online just yet. Just needs to front a little bit, but that's what you need, just a quick pick like that.
Lore's doing amazing with the quick picks, but Teddy M is responding on the angles. It feels like Lore versus Teddy M. Who's going to hit the snipe? Lore shuts down, and now that's going to be all but over. Nutty was trying to sustain, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Jumps out of Immort, shut down by Vikovs. Corey's still alive on the point. Fedora's back with a touch as well. They do find Lore. That is the main damage dealer, the main elimination giver for Loch Ness Nessies, and Raz is also back, but now it's such a weird comp. Even if they clean up this fight, they've already made the swaps. It feels like it's already sort of tipping towards the favor of Loch Ness Nessies.
Yeah, I mean, Laura got 3 that fight. He can't do more. But Corey was just able to sit on point. He's got such big health pool. Laura's not that big of a deal to him, as well as he just was able to survive for so long that Fedora got back. Able to help.
And you see these shields coming out from Corey. It's just whatever angle Laura's on, let's just put one up. Let's just block him off. Let's just see if we can let Teddy M use the shield and make sure that Vin's not putting up the shield. And that's what Teddy M's gonna do. 2 early picks, and now Vikov's Hayden Vin jumping backwards.
Yeah, Laura as well, noticing that he's getting that shield like slammed right in his face, decides to go the Sojourn and actually farm up that shield for as much charge as he can, but the ultra coming line for both sides, so it's winnable for both.
Because Fedora made that switch, he doesn't have the ult alive. He doesn't have the beat to do a save, but everybody's going to be able to dodge the Gravitic Flux. And Hayden still has that Zenyatta Transcendence to keep the team up. Now it's going to be a 1-player disadvantage for Washington Overwatch. They have to give it all in this fight. They have to find a pick. It's now or never for the team. Fedora with a big beat. But is it going to be big enough, especially in a 5v2 situation? Corey's done some amazing things. Fedora has also, but all of it doesn't matter as Loch Ness Nessies are able to take Circuit Royale.
Yeah, despite Vin's best efforts, they were still able to win the map, as he was not able to secure anyone with that flux, but Raz got canceled out of Pulse Bomb. She got killed right through it. So it's definitely close, though, closer than you'd think you'd expect, but we will be going to push here as the Washington Overwatch team season is on the line right now.
But the saving grace for them is they do have this map choice. They do have a lot of time to strategize, and there is still a chance because they do have one map. They have found a strategy that works. We'll have to see if it's actually going to come to fruition. We're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back. Current score, Loch Ness Nessies 2, Washington Overwatch Team 1.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Welcome back, everybody. We are currently in this middle of an absolute banger of a match. We got Loch, Nessies up 2-1 against the Washington Overwatch team, which means Washington Overwatch team's time to select. Looks like they're going to be going with New Queen Street, the map where you more see that dive slash brawl, but you aren't going to be able to see more of that poke, which we have been seeing a lot from at least Teddy M finding success there. So what are your thoughts on that, Riddle?
Yeah, I mean, so they weren't able to win on the dive on Hollywood, but for Busan they were able to win on that sort of poke style on that Busan Sanctuary was the rush comps on the Busan Mecha base. But so I wouldn't be surprised if their last bastion really their final shot was on this rush comp with Fedora moving back onto tank.
And Fedora, an extremely proficient tank, whether it be on Ramacho or JQ or any other tank. So we'll have to see what the play is here. More of a brawl choice or more of a dive choice?
Yep, JQ Mirror possibly as Washington looks to tease the Ana Kiriko, which I feel like this comp is underrated. You have to play it like perfectly though, because it's really easy to rush on some people like Corey, but you have the Suzu for the Junker Queen, and because her self-heal is so powerful, you just have the ability to anti-nade it. And with that, you can even force out Suzu from Hayden and use the Rampage from Fedora, so it's like this whole chain of events. But we'll see if they can pull it off.
One of the things I'm really scared of is this Vikhoff's Vind dive onto the backline. Don't care about what's happening to our respective backline or what I'm passing by, but only worrying about the supports. See if Corey and everybody else can stay alive. And Anti-Nade comes in, but instantly gets cleansed out. That's the advantage of having that Kiriko on your side. And the advantage has already been given to the Loch Nessies here as Vind is going in, putting in some great damage and really forcing out all the util, all of the presence that Washington Overwatch team had.
I mean, half this time Vic is just acting like a distraction. That first fight, he was distracting Fedora as he's looking away, looking for heals as well, but Vin was able to punish that. So, I mean, he still did damage, almost got his ult even.
Thing about this for Washington Overwatch is, I mean, if they want to go in, they can go in as a team, try to dive out one of them. And Laura has now dropped super low.
Fedora.
But Fedora is going to be the first one to fall, and that's going to be such a detriment to Washington Overwatch, especially when the momentum is still shifting in the favor of Loch Nessies. A pick on the Vind might be enough.
I mean, it'll definitely slow them down. The Vin did die last, so it will be. He will get there really late as he has far spawn, but Vic's got bleed. We'll see what he can do.
And Fedora's realizing that, okay, we got to start going in on Vikhoff. We got to start finding that pick, and that is exactly what he does, and at the perfect time, too. Now, Washington Overwatch team is going to be up one player, but
Oh, Lure.
looks like they're going to be up on ults for Loch Nessies. As Lure with the overclock is just so big. Teddy M's going to get hit with the nano, but antied out, so is Fedora, and Lore is just finding pick after pick on top of train car. Can they find anything else? Teddy M with the Blossom only gets Charbitron though, and now forced to use util, forced to try to get out, but Vikhoff's gonna be a quick shutdown to that.
That was a huge overclock from Lore able to find Razmataz in the Mega. Then Corey, after he unfortunately found himself right in front of that railgun. But they didn't use a lot of ults, which is important for the side of the Nessies, as Corey makes the swap over to Lucio to play the standard Lucio comp.
Interesting to see this because I feel like we're more used to seeing this the opposite way. Papa Triste on the Lucio and Corey on the Kiriko, but either way definitely works. And
The
Corey
legendary
Lucio.
Corey Lucio.
Legendary, not for good reasons, according to our very helpful prod member in the back.
Yeah,
Nobody
Vikov falling so
at
low.
Yeah, nobody at the moment is able to look at Lore on this high ground, and he's just able to operate so well. Raz tries to go up, but at this point it's a sinking ship, and it's only gonna sink deeper and deeper as Fedora drops down. And Loch is just able to keep the exact same momentum they have, and they might even be able to hit the checkpoint here.
He didn't even use any ults there. That's really bad for the side of Washington. It just seems like they were so split. They didn't know what they wanted to run on. Teddy was looking at Vikov. Raz didn't know where he was. Fedora was on point with Corey and Triste.
We're
But
gonna have to see this amazing ult use that they demonstrated in the first map. I mean, that's gonna be such a big rampage, but it's gonna be instantly countered out.
4 ults.
It's every ult from Loch Ness that they had possible just to win the fight, and they aren't even winning it right now. That's
There's
the
5.
insane thing. There's 5, okay.
I-
Just drop everything on the ground, see what happens. I mean, they
Raz
won
is
the fight.
contesting. Barely.
Barely.
After using 5 ults, I mean, that's not a good look. You see Fedora moving over to the Reinhardt. The Nessies are doing such a good job with kiting whenever Washington tries to go aggressive or they use an ult. They're able to kite away so well and re-engage like they wanted there.
The timing has been so good from the Nessies. The ult use, I mean, obviously a bit questionable, but timing is what really matters here. We're going to have to see how Washington Overwatch responds, especially if they know for certain the team has lost all the ults for a decent amount of time. Doesn't matter for Vikov, though, as he finds Corey in the back line.
Raz falls from Lord. Teddy gets his. It's possibly winnable. Teddy falls deathly low, though.
And it's so hard to keep the team up. Eventually, it's all just going to fall apart as well.
It's like the Nessies are just able to sustain for so long. While the Washington Overwatch team is just dying out of nowhere, whether it be just random pick from Vikov's or Lore's railgun.
And they shouldn't be able to sustain for this long. I mean, look at how low Vikov's drops. But then just instant dash back, instant use of deflect. There's a great job from the team using the ult early, but somehow it doesn't matter. The kite's just too good. Vind is just playing out of his mind. They let the bot just go as far as they want. As long as it doesn't restart the checkpoint, it doesn't matter. And they just have the opportunity. They find the pick, and that's all she wrote, basically.
Yeah. Ooh. The Rampage comes in, finds 3, they get Triste. They're gonna get staggered.
And that's the best pick they could find, because with the support down, Corey's not there at the beat. Finally comes back to the team, but look at how much progress they've made. It feels like almost insurmountable here. And now all the ults were used at the same time, so they all basically come back at the same time. 3, almost 4 ults for Loch Nessies. Space basically an even field. Fedora needs to hit a big shadow here.
Yeah. Oh, the Ghostbuster! The Ghostbuster and the Ajax from Corey! Disaster!
Everything went wrong. They could have went wrong there.
It did.
Teddy
And they
M's
all
the last
died.
one out too, and he's the only one that has an ultimate left to use. The only saving grace,
He
but
dies late, though.
could easily be just shut down too. Overclock's used early. That's gonna effectively be a stagger. Corey's just sitting against Vind. It doesn't matter. I think Corey might just be gone now. It might just be locked in Nessies with complete control of the map, complete control of the robot. Teddy M
Oh.
still no ult online. And that's gonna be all she wrote. Loch Ness Nessies are gonna take map 4. They're gonna take the series 3-1 against the Washington Overwatch team.
The Nessies just did such a good job of kiting and sustaining. They played out of their minds today a lot better than some of their last matches, like against the Mice, where they got 3 out. It seems like they're able to bounce back well.
And even on their worst map, they still felt strong. They still felt confident. I mean, this is a team that can do some work throughout the playoff brackets. They officially made it into the semifinals. But to see who joins them, I mean, we have a lot more games happening today and Sunday.
Yeah. Into them. Yeah, the semifinals is going. The winner of this next semifinals that the Nessies are going into against the Rotterdam Red Pandas Roseville Raiders 2 game. That's going to be the Muskie Bowl. The winner of that wins the Crystal Corey, which means that unfortunately the Washington Overwatch team cannot win their captain as a trophy.
That is incredibly unfortunate. But Riddle, you can win their captain as a trophy.
I could. That could be pretty swag.
Well, either way, I mean, Loch Ness Nessies, incredible gameplay there. I mean, Washington Overwatch team, of course, great job of adapting, overcoming overall. But I mean, at the end of the day, the Loch Ness Nessies just felt to be on a different level today.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of that was. It seemed like it was just the team overall been able to control the flow of that fight with Charbotron on the Lucio, as well as diving in onto whatever target they decide with Vic Hobbs, Hayden keeping everyone up, or just hitting the random shots, whether it be on Sojourn or Widow.
Yeah, it was all incredible gameplay, but it's incredible action, at least for part one of the doubleheader match today, has to come to an end. But before it does, Riddle, we got to talk. Most valuable or match MVP.
Yeah, like I was saying, everyone really played out of their minds, so I wouldn't be surprised or sad to really give it to anyone on the team, but I know one player that I think stands out.
I
from the rest.
have two players in mind. So if my two players correspond to your one player, then your one player should decide it, right?
Sure.
Sure.
No.
No.
What's your two? What's your
my,
two?
My two would be Vind and Lore.
Yeah, I agree with both those. I think out of the two, I'd probably just pick Vind, just with how he's able to. The only one in the channel, which is very poggers, because that means we can drag him in.
We can
But-
force him to join us.
Oh.
Wait. Oh, we can maybe not force him to
Where'd he
join us.
go?
Wait. He was here. But then he disappeared.
Yeah, but he was just with how he was able to survive as long as he did on whatever tank he needed, able to kite back, whether it be like even dive in with Vic Haas, put up the pressure with Aurora as well. Vin played really, really well today.
An exceptional gameplay. Even like it doesn't matter the character. I mean, we thought the Corey Sigma would give at least some trouble to Vind, but it felt like it was an equal stalemate. And at sometimes even Vind just putting down so much tank presence and allowing his teammates to succeed. It's not just, I mean, him. It's obviously how he impacts his teammates, and it felt like he did that out of his mind today.
Yeah, as we will be having him join us now. Trolling! He's trolling.
He's trolling us. He keeps joining and leaving.
He told me my VC glitched.
I don't believe in VC glitches. I do believe in liars.
He is on Xbox, and for some reason, I found out last night that you cannot join a private channel on like console. At least
How
like
about we
a
join Watch
private
Party then?
DM. Let's see.
And
hold
then
on.
we interview him there.
I dragged him
Wait.
in admin voice, so he can sit there. Oh,
Can you sit here? Does this work?
Vindy?
Vind, are you with us?
Hello?
Yeah, we got Vind. Hello,
I
Vind.
kept getting anytime someone tries to.
He got kicked again. He got kicked again. It's over.
no way. No way. No way. Wait,
Let's go to watch party.
he's not getting kicked. No one's trolling. I can see in the audit log. None of us are trolling.
Yeah,
Holy.
none of us are trolling.
Yeah, going to watch party.
And we are here with Vind, the very, very official
Oh.
interview that was not getting put off because random Discord
I
glitches
kept-
and Xbox is weird. Welcome, Vind.
Oh, welcome. Oh, hello.
So Vind, since you're welcoming us, do you want to do the questions today?
No, I don't think I have anything prepared.
All right, that's fine because I don't have anything prepared either. I'm just going off the top of my head. Vind, what do you think your team did exceptionally today?
I feel like we didn't really take it Like, anytime we lost a fight, or if we, after that first map, we didn't really take things too seriously. I feel like it's pretty lighthearted all around. No one got tilted, which was nice. So I think we just kept things positive and played how we wanted to play.
And that's awesome because, I mean, I know a lot of your teammates do have that positive energy. I've been on a team with Charbitron before, and she's amazing to play with just because she's always positive no matter what. So it's great to see that positive energy is keeping you guys in the playoffs. What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously, your opponents have not been decided yet. It is going to be between two other teams, the Rotterdam Red Pandas or the Roseville Raiders. So thoughts on prepping for those matches?
Well, we're probably just gonna play pandas.
Whoa,
What were you saying,
whoa,
Riddle?
whoa,
Whoa,
Have
whoa,
you
whoa,
seen
that's
the
some
clutch
confidence.
factor from the Raiders? Oh,
Uh,
hold on. So
I
what?
will slander
would
the
you-
Raiders.
Who would you rather face and why? Let's go that first.
Probably the Raiders. I'll have to say.
No shot. My man's on face me.
I mean, I'll
Why?
face you. I'd just rather play the Raiders because
Why?
I feel like that team is. I feel like it's a good team to play. I know our last match was kind of close and it was fun. It was a fun game, so I'd rather not go against, you.
I mean, that's
all right,
probably
well
the
said.
strategic mentality to have. And speaking of going into things when you've already experienced it, obviously you went into this map already playing Busan, and then you saw that the Washington Overwatch team managed to beat you out there. What swaps were you making? What changes were you making that you felt benefited your team?
I'll be honest here. We made basically no swaps from what we normally play. I think the map selection really favored us. So, I don't remember what the hybrid was. Oh, Hollywood. Yeah. So basically, whatever we played on Gibraltar, we normally just transferred over to Hollywood. So we didn't change anything. We just kind of played whatever heroes we wanted to, and it worked out.
Yeah, I know how good you are on Gibraltar as well. So
Oh my god.
yeah, I'm not nice. So Vindy looking to pick up both of those, the Crystal Quarry as both the Golden Fogler as well. Be the first person to do that. But unless you have any other questions, War, I think we can go with
I'm
El
okay with El
Clasico.
Clasico. Vind, if you were not the MVP today, who would be the MVP?
Oh man, I gotta give it to Vic. I feel like it's always fun to watch him play Genji, and just like seeing him travel around the map, just like killing us in the air. It's always fun to see, and he played pretty well. Even on circuit, which I didn't think was the greatest map for Genji, he still played really well. So
Yeah,
Yeah, you and
that's
him-
definitely a good shout.
And you and him definitely make a dynamic duo too. Just the ability to play off each other is absolutely incredible.
yep.
All right, well, thank you so much for stopping in. Congratulations on your map win, and we'll be seeing you in the semifinals of Aurora Esports. But for now, best of luck, and we'll be letting you go.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and that'll be all for today. So, I mean, Riddle, any final thoughts before we close it out?
It was a good game. The Nessies were able to really pull it back as well, which is really good on those last three maps. A gentleman sweep, as it's known as well, but we'll have to see if they're able to keep it up in the semifinals to take home the Crystal Quarry. But don't forget, there is another match going to be happening tonight at 10 p.m. CST, which should happen about half an hour or so.
All right, so we will be sending it into Paige's channel for the Cancun Coconuts versus the Munich Mice. But however, remember, we have another match on this channel, so stay tuned for all the action tonight because it doesn't stop. I was one of your casters, War, the other caster in RiddleDog, and Booney on the prod. It was a pleasure having you tonight, and we will see you next time, which is going to be very shortly on Aurora Esports.